I love you, my dear old Swanee. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. I still have you, sunny boy.
Al Jolson's song thrilled a nation and gave a voice to Hollywood and the stars. Beneath this towering monument rests a man and a legend, Al Jolson. For nearly half a century, he made America sing and laugh and cry. But though he played on our emotions with unabashed sentimentality, he felt within himself an emptiness that no personal relationship could fill. Insecure, plagued by self-doubt, Jolson felt important and alive only when he heard the cheers of an adoring crowd and the love music of applause. A biographer summed him up in these words: as a human being, he left much to be desired. But he was the greatest entertainer that the world has ever known.
Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. I'd give the world to be among the folks in DIX. I even know my mammy's waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. The folks up north won't see me no more when I get to that Swanee.
Though he sang of Mammy and magnolias in a broad southern accent, Al Jolson never even saw the Swanee River. Born in Russia in 1886, his name is Asa Jolson, second son of a Jewish peasant family. The Jolsons immigrate to America when Asa is 8. They will settle in Washington, D.C., where his father has secured a position as rabbi in an impoverished Orthodox synagogue. Asa and his older brother Hirsch will soon rebel against their father's stern old country traditions. They begin calling themselves Al and Harry. And they further shame their father by avoiding religious services to sing for pennies on the street. At the age of 12, Al runs away from home, cutting all family ties and leaving wounds that will never heal. He follows his brother to New York. Here, the boys will find a new way of life, show business. At first, Al supports himself by singing for tips in Bowery saloons. Then a bit part in a play called Children of the Ghetto gives him his first taste of the stage. When Al is 15, he and his brother create their own vaudeville act called The Hebrew and the Cadet. They change their name to Jolson, and with singer Joe Palmer form a new act which tours the country for 2 years. When the act breaks up, Al sets out on his own as a singing blackface comedian. At first, he uses this traditional caricature to hide his nervousness, but it will soon become his trademark. Vaudeville is in its heyday, and for young Jolson, Theaters across the country are classrooms, home, and playgrounds. His friends and tutors are baggy pants comics, acrobats, chorus girls, and pitchmen. For years, he works and watches and learns. Jolson scores his first real success with Lou Dockstadt as minstrels. He starts as a featured performer, but his dynamic energy quickly makes him the star. After 10 years on the stage, Al Jolson knows all the tricks of the trade. He is ready for the big time. In 1911, at the age of 26, Jolson reaches Broadway as a supporting act in a musical revue. Overnight, the unknown singer becomes a sensation.
Why do they all take the night boat for Albany? That's what's puzzling me. They all claim it's just for the sight, but just the same, they travel at night. They play the searchlight on the shore when they float. They ought to play the searchlight right on the boat. So tell me, why do they all take the night boat for Albany and grab the next train? But God!
Jolson now tastes the heady wine of public adulation that will drive him for the rest of his life. Cheers, applause, his name in lights. He pushes to the top with drive, cockiness, and exuberant charm.
There's a rainbow around my shoulder and a sky of blue above. Oh, the sun shines bright, the world's all right, 'cause I'm in love. There's a rainbow around my
For
shoulder.
2 decades, on through the roaring 20s, Al Jolson will surpass even his wildest dreams. $15,000 a week, highest paid star in theater history. Away from the reassurance of the crowd, Jolson is lonely and insecure, although he tries to hide it. He has very few friends, and they find him sometimes extravagantly kind, sometimes callously abusive. Married and divorced twice, he boosts his ego by being seen with pretty girls, and he revels in his reputation as a lady killer. There is but one overwhelming passion in Jolson's life, the audience. Others play to an audience, but Al Jolson makes love to it. Only the adulation of a crowd gives him the warmth, the approval, the sense of importance he so desperately needs. His friend Eddie Cantor will say, this great personality never learned how to live. The minute the curtain rang down, he died. In 1927, at the peak of his career, Al Jolson leaves Broadway to take a tremendous gamble. He's been asked to star in a motion picture that will bring sound to the silent screen. Jolson sees a golden opportunity. Now he can sing not just for a few hundred in a theater, but for millions all over the world. With a jazz singer, Al Jolson makes history.
Goodbye. Good, don't cry. The little train that takes me away from you. You don't know just how sad it makes me. Kiss me pretty and then, hey, do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. You don't get early, you know I'm in jail. Da. Don't cry, goody, don't cry. Ah! Goodbye, good day, goodbye. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm going along. Yes, going along.
The jazz singer opens a new era. The public demands more talkies, and Hollywood studios frantically convert to sound. The king of Broadway becomes the king of Hollywood. And now Al Jolson stars in a series of screen musicals. Unfortunately, they all follow the same predictable pattern. The maudlin plots are not helped by Jolson's acting, which one critic describes as flat, wooden, and downright embarrassing.
Well, anything you say. me. I want to tell you one thing, baby. There'll never be anybody in here but you.
Jolson begins misjudging the taste of movie audiences. Ever since he first sang My Mammy on the stage, Jolson and Mother Love have meant big box office. But now his appeal wears thin as he repeats his sentimental gimmicks in picture after picture. To boost his waning popularity, Jolson switches from mothers to glamour girls like Dolores Del Rio. But it just doesn't work. In desperation, producers surround him with thousands of extras in giant production numbers. By only his seventh picture, Al Jolson's intensely personal appeal is lost, submerged in a mob-filled musical extravaganza. For the first time in 30 years, Al Jolson's spectacular career is heading for trouble.
Yeah.
The 1930s is a fabulous era for Hollywood. But for Al Jolson, it will be a decade of frustration. His third wife is dancer Ruby Keeler. And even though she is 20 years younger than he, Ruby would prefer a quiet home life. But she is swept up in her husband's compulsive search for excitement. Jolson soon finds himself in an intolerable situation. His ego suffers as he declines in pictures, while his wife's career is booming. Jolson's ego will take further punishment. He stars with his wife in the film, Go Into Your Dance. But Hollywood rumors that he was put in the picture solely because of Ruby Keeler's tremendous box office appeal. The Jolsons look good as a team, but it is the only film they will ever make together.
About a quarter to 9, my loving arms are gonna tenderly twine, sweet, sweet twine, around you, around a quarter to 9. I know I won't be late, 'cause a half-past 8, I'm gonna hurry there. I'll be waiting where the lane begins, waiting for you on Eastern Pin, and there the world is gonna be mine. This evening, about a quarter to 9.
A year later, the Mammy singer makes a special mark for posterity. His knee prints in cemented Hollywood's Chinese theater. For Jolson, it is a moment of glory, but it will have an ironically hollow ring. His wife will soon leave him. Hollywood producers will soon forget him, and never again will Al Jolson play a starring role in a motion picture. Except for several minor parts, he cannot find work in Hollywood. Although he poses for newsreel cameras and pretends to enjoy retirement, his idleness is painful and humiliating. As the decade ends, Al Jolson, a lonely millionaire, tells anyone who will listen how great he was in the good old days. Then, a sudden and dramatic turning point. The United States goes to war. Al Jolson becomes the first performer to entertain American troops overseas. A new generation of Americans thrills to the old songs and old jokes of an exciting entertainer most of them had never seen before. Even after attacks of malaria and pneumonia and surgery to remove one lung, Jolson cannot resist this newfound audience. And against doctors' orders, he goes back to entertaining troops. In 1945, when he's nearly 60 years old, Al Jolson elopes. His bride, 21-year-old Earl Galbraith. an X-ray technician he met while singing at an Army hospital. Despite his popularity with GIs, to Hollywood, Jolson is still a forgotten man. Producers consider him a relic, and they laugh when columnist Sidney Skolsky tries to sell Jolson's life story as a movie. One night, however, Jolson is a last-minute addition to the list of top entertainers at a charity banquet. Though he must follow Hollywood's brightest stars, Jolson gives them all a lesson in showmanship they will never forget. He proves that in spite of his age, he still has the same old magic. His sensational performance is the talk of Hollywood, and Columbia Pictures finally yields to Skolsky's dogged persuasion. Jolson is amazed and hurt that he will not play himself in the picture. Reluctantly, he agrees to let a young newcomer, Larry Parks, do the role. Parks will mouth the words to Jolson's pre-recorded songs.
You made me cry, Pa. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I want some love. That's true. You know I do. Indeed I do. Yes, I do.
Gimme, 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 gimme what I cry for. You know you got the kind of kisses that I'd die for. You know you made me love you. Swanee, how I love you, my.
Movie audiences never realize that Jolson actually appears in the picture. Worried that Parks cannot properly imitate his special dance steps, Jolson convinces producers that only he can do the number. In this one scene, Jolson, not Parks, plays Jolson.
Oh, Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. The folks up north will see me no more when I get to that Swanee shore.
The Jolson story is the greatest comeback in theatrical history. Jolson is discovered by a new generation and again cherished by the old. Now, every personal appearance is a mob scene. He sells millions of records. His new radio show is the most popular on the air, and Columbia Pictures will even make a sequel, Jolson Sings Again. Jolson struts like a conquering hero. The man nobody wanted is hailed once again as king of show business. Jolson's professional success is matched by personal fulfillment. Friends say his years with Earl and their two adopted children are the happiest of his life. But still, he tells a reporter, I'm a bigger success than I ever was. Now I want to sit down and play, and I don't know how. I'm a ham. I have to keep on singing. Korea, 1950. Once more, Al Jolson is the first to go overseas to entertain. He even pays his own way. Jolson does 42 shows in 16 days, singing and joking for his favorite audience, the American serviceman. The 64-year-old trooper suffers a severe bronchial infection, and doctors warn him to stop. But Jolson refuses to recognize that he is no longer the dynamic young minstrel who electrified Broadway nearly 40 years before. He refuses to quit and completes his tour, a sick, exhausted old man. Three weeks later, Al Jolson is dead.
I'd walk a million miles for one of your smiles, oh, my Mammy, oh. Mammy.
Al Jolson was the greatest minstrel of them all. His style and personality left an indelible mark on show business. Today's greatest stars proudly claim there is a little bit of Jolson in all of them. Even after 30 or 40 years, audiences who saw him perform still remember the magic that was Al Jolson.
Mammy, I'm coming. I hope I didn't make you wait. Mammy, I'm coming. Oh, God, I hope I'm not late. Mammy, don't you know me? It's a little baby. I'd walk a million miles for one of your smiles. For my Mammy.
Stay tuned now for the Couch Classics as William Powell and Myrna Loy star in The Great Ziegfeld. Coming up next, right here on KTVU.
Saint Mary, we always will love you with your inspiration. We never will fail your charm.
Bing Crosby has made virtually every field of show business his personal province. Radio, records, television, motion pictures. He has become an American tradition.
While we sing out, hail, hail, hail.
Whether reverent or clowning, serious or funny, Bing Crosby has put the stamp of a unique personality on the world of Hollywood and the stars. In a remarkable career, Bing Crosby has starred in more than 50 movies, sold over 200 million records, and become indispensable to the world of entertainment. For it has been said that somewhere around the world, Bing Crosby's voice is heard or his image is seen every minute of the day. He has held this remarkable position for over a quarter of a century. Among Bing Crosby's earliest memories are the primitive sounds of a gramophone which stood in the parlor of the Crosby home. Bing's father, a bookkeeper, had been an amateur singer, and as a child, little Bing is surrounded by the sounds of music. The early years produce a contented, easygoing youngster with a love for music and for play. As a high school student in Spokane, Washington, Bing prefers to exert himself on the athletic field rather than in the classroom. But he's a formidable debater and so he enrolls at Gonzaga University to study law. Bing soon forgets jurisprudence, however, when he finds he can pick up good money by singing and playing drums at school dances. So Bing quits college, teams up with school chum Al Rinker, and they struggle along as wandering minstrels for 2 lean years. Then in 1926, Paul Whiteman spots Crosby and Rinker and gives them a chance with his celebrated band. Crosby and Rinker, now joined by Harry Barris, become Whiteman's Rhythm Boys, a song and comedy team that soon makes a name for itself. In Hollywood, they become a popular nightclub act, with Crosby as the feature attraction. For no one had ever sung quite like Crosby before, with a rich voice and a supremely casual style.
I know my heart won't beat again until the day we meet again. Sweetheart, goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen, my dear.
Crosby becomes a special favorite with the Hollywood crowd. Among them, Mack Sennett, the hugely successful creator of screen comedy. Realizing that the movies are turning to sound, Sennett wants to add a singer to his madcap world, and he offers Crosby a job. Bing Crosby has no burning ambition to become an actor, but this chance is too good to turn down, and so he enters the movies.
Oh, sweetheart, last we fooled your dad. Oh, no, you haven't. Mr. Lake. Yes, Mr. Lake. I heard your message over the radio. Thought I'd be listening to Amos and Andy, didn't you?
You can't steal my promised bride. I've a good notion to knock your block off.
Oh, yeah?
Nobody on the Senate lot suspects that he has a wealth of untapped talent, even a flair for comedy. But his early success in films will come from his singing, in a style that is becoming a distinctive trademark.
Sing, Bing, sing.
Yeah. We're in this together, you know. Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. How am I doing? Great. That's him, all right.
In a little shack on Fifth Avenue, we'll cuddle and coo.
Now, a girl captures Bing Crosby's fancy. A young singer and actress, Dixie Lee, is being groomed for stardom, and her romance with Crosby worries her studio bosses. If she marries him, some people warn her, she'll end up supporting a singer who's going nowhere.
Simple things that make life a song, I'll struggle along with you.
But finally, in 1930, they wed. And in Crosby's words, it was Miss Big marrying Mr. Little. But Dixie, confident of Crosby's future, happily gives up her career to raise a family. Their first son is Gary, named for their good friend, Gary Cooper. 3 more boys will follow, and by now, the breadwinner of the family is going places. Bing Crosby begins appearing in feature films, and within a year, he will become a full-fledged star. For these are the Depression years, and Crosby's carefree and nonchalant style is a refreshing tonic for the 30s.
Not all whenever the folks higher to that mean, no down, now there's no down lower than that. Whenever the swell, low down has become, low down, there's no down lower
it or not, when they start getting hot, out of the snow, hot shots out of the sand. So you can lay your dough down when they go low down. There's no down lower than that.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud?
Within just a few years, Bing Crosby becomes the most popular singer of the decade through movies, records, and radio. For his style has become a masterpiece of unstudied informality and charm.
All over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the thing you love, you must have shine. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you.
As the nation's top crooner, Bing Crosby becomes an intriguing public figure. Though rich and celebrated, he apparently strolled through life, and a nation is charmed by this man who seems so unimpressed with his position, his fame. There is more to Crosby, however, than meets the eye. In 1937, he forms a corporation that builds the multi-million-dollar Del Mar racetrack near San Diego. The racetrack has what Hollywood calls marquee value, and Del Mar becomes a favorite hangout for movie land's elite. To Crosby, another essential for the good life when he's not working is 18 or 36 holes of golf a day. And as with almost everything he does, this too enhances his public image. For to Americans, there is something especially admirable about a famous and prominent man who is casual and unpretentious. But he manages to combine golf with good work. He sponsors the annual Bing Crosby Pro-Am tournament, which over the years raises millions of dollars for charity. Crosby's image takes on even added sparkle when he teams up with Bob Hope. Off the screen, they constantly lampoon formality, convention, and themselves. And they delight an entire nation as they cavort like grown-up Huckleberry Finns.
Which one is Paramount? Paramount, second from the left? Get my good side. I've just been down to the blood bank, had my eyes drained this morning.
How are you feeling tonight, Chisholm? Dinner this afternoon.
Oh, I feel very fine, Dumbo. I was up at the crack of my back this morning.
I passed your house last night.
You passed my house? Thanks.
With an eye-catching assist from Dorothy Lamour, Crosby and Hope collaborate in the rollicking Road Picture. Their memorable series is a phenomenon at the box office.
Hey, come on out of there. Yeah, time's a wasting.
I'll see you back at the hut.
Oh, no, we couldn't leave a poor defenseless girl like you out alone in this jungle. Yeah, you need two defenseless men to protect you.
Speak for yourself.
All right, turn your head.
What about your sarong?
You stay there while I get dressed.
What about your sarong? That's nice talk. Well, I was just asking.
Cover up your eyes like she said.
You never want to have any fun.
Innocent fun
That's
is
my type of girl, the athletic type.
When the right kind of a girl comes along, you'll be swept off your feet.
Yeah, my type of girl's right back there, I want to tell you that. After all, I know all about swimming, you know. I used to grease them for the channel swim.
There's plenty of oil left over.
Yeah. Oh, George, come on, cut it out, will you? Come on, stop. Hey, help! George! Help!
Oh, Harold, you pick up with the darndest people.
Help!
With the coming of war, Bing Crosby's popularity around the world comes into even more dramatic focus. To servicemen everywhere, he is a welcome figure.
When Hope was over here recently, did he do well? Did he score? Was he important? But I really must tell you, he's not the Hope he used to be. He's getting a little old, a little beat. He's getting a little slouchy in the pouch, so to say. We just finished a picture called The Road to Utopia, and I don't want to say what part of him was dragging, but it's the cleanest road picture we ever made.
For years to come, servicemen will fondly recall the sight and sounds of Bing Crosby, especially his freewheeling appearances with Bob Hope.
Maresy dotes and dozy dotes, and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Maresy dotes and dozy dotes, and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A dum dum dee dee dee.
I got you got to do a show tonight.
In the early 1940s, Bing Crosby finds a newcomer named Sinatra nipping at his heels. And they often appear together at barn rallies. One day they lift their voices in informal song, and the moment is captured by a newsreel camera for posterity.
Don't laugh at Hope's jokes too much. People will say we're in love.
I got enough. That's wonderful. No. What's the next line?
Keep moving, you're a hell of a target.
What's the next line?
Don't dance all night with me till the stars fade from above. They'll say it's all right with me. People will say we're in love.
In 1944, Bing Crosby makes a daring change of pace. Though he has never tackled a serious role before, he stars now as a priest in Going My Way. And he surprises virtually everyone by turning in a sensitive and restrained performance. He even holds his own against a veteran scene stealer, Barry Fitzgerald. The man who had once been considered just a crooner now wins an Academy Award for his acting. He accepts it from Gary Cooper in typical Crosby style.
The greatest pleasure I've ever had to present to you the Best Acting Award for 1944 for your wonderful, superb performance. Superb.
Oh, my heavens.
That's the best word I can dig up at the moment. In Going My Way.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Sing my congratulations.
I couldn't be more surprised if I won the Kentucky Derby, really.
A sequel, The Bells of St. Mary's, follows the phenomenal success of Going My Way.
Sister Benedict.
And once again, this time with Ingrid Bergman, Crosby brings to a delicate role a simple and warm humanity.
Sister, I can't let you go like this. You know, when Dr. McKay said you were perfect, he was right. So that's what you are. But he didn't mean physically. Because, sister, you have a touch of tuberculosis. Dr. McKay felt that you shouldn't know about this, but I've...
Thank you, Father. Thank you. You've made me very happy. I'll get well quickly now.
Of course you will, sister.
Of course I will.
And if you ever need anything, no matter what it is or wherever you happen to be...
I know. I just dial O for O'Malley.
Right.
In a row, Bing Crosby is Hollywood's #1 box office attraction. By now, he has become one of the giants of show business. Despite his fame, Crosby does not seek out publicity. He has a strong sense of family privacy, and he tries to shield both himself and his 4 growing sons from the pressures of being a celebrity family. Bing Crosby could easily retire, but he can never see himself sitting on the sidelines. In 1952, he stars in Little Boy Lost, a serious drama filmed in France. Back home, his wife Dixie is seriously ill, but she has insisted that the worried Crosby complete the picture. Shortly after his return home, Dixie dies. Now Bing Crosby retreats to a comparatively quiet life. There is even talk that he may retire. But several years later, in 1955, he is nominated for his 2nd Oscar for a powerful performance as an alcoholic in The Country Girl. He attends the ceremonies with Katharine Grant, a young actress, and they will be seen together with increasing frequency. On the day of their wedding in 1957, Crosby says, "I need the comfort of a home and someone to love, and Katharine is the girl for me." Now Bing Crosby begins a 2nd family. The first of his 3 new children is a boy, and Crosby nicknames him Tex. "Looks like I've got a fine shortstop there," says Crosby. In the late 1950s, Bing Crosby returns in glory to Gonzaga, the university from which he never graduated because he was more interested in crooning. But now he donates the $500,000 Crosby Memorial Library for students with more scholarly ambitions.
Well, I wish Hope could see me now. That's all I got. Quite a few things I should say, I suppose, and an awful lot of things I could say. But doubtless, you must know what's in my heart and how I feel about this. And I have the keys here to this library, which I want to give to Father Morton now. You may want to get in here some night and break up a poker game or something.
By now, even Crosby talks about tapering off from the grind of show business. But he's still on the go, making films, records, television appearances. And it is almost impossible to imagine that he'll ever stop. A writer once said, "Bing Crosby is an amiable, breezy, and prankish boy who never grew up and never will." And this is the essence of his charm, his success. For he remains the one and only Bing, just as he was more than 30 years ago.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day,
Someone waits for me, and the gold of her hair crowns the blue of her eyes like a halo so tenderly, where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day. Someone waits for